Three, two, one. Hey, everybody! Wait, hold on. Let that thing start up properly. There you go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the end. Lost track of things myself. Yes,
Will this
welcome
actually
back to
work
the
on the
end.
first try today, I wonder? Kana.
We don't know. We may, maybe not. Good. Throw out a maybe. Ah, my throat.
Mm.
This whole thing been dumb. Doo.
Do you
Passive
have a cold,
appears.
sweet darling?
I don't know. I had a cold and I started coughing again, so maybe. For
Oh.
some reason, I'm like, oh, Pad's around. We're trying to add him to the call, but then your throat get a halt. Nice. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't seem to find him on the Skype and the bobbers, so I don't know
Oh,
what's
do you
up
want me
with
to
that.
grab him?
Oh yeah, if you can do that, that'd be great. That'd be great. So, as per usual, I am seriously going to just get a new darn title card because seriously, for the 11 millionth time in a row, Cabral is gone. Lightning Rabbit is not here. He's
Hey,
actually
Patty's
been
not
like,
on my list either. Where the
Weird.
hell did Patty go? Oh no, there he is.
oh. All right. But anyway, yeah, no, these two. They've been missing so many times. I'm just gonna change the. I'm gonna get a new title card thing. It's just gonna be me, Noony, and probably Pad Save. Just 'cause that is
Do
what
you want
the
me to
show
draw a
is.
new one? I don't. Oh no, I can't draw right now because my tablet broke. Fudge, I forgot.
Oh,
When I get a new one, I will draw a new title card for you.
wonderful. We'll probably need one. Because lordy, this has been most silly. Also, need to change the. At some point, I need to talk to the people at Rhyme about changing the information for the show on the Rhyme homepage because it still lists Firebolt as a member of the cast. Several months after the last time he was actually on a show, and does not list you even though you've been here for a very long time at this point. So yeah, definitely need to definitely need to do some housekeeping with all of that. Hello, Pad Save.
Hello.
How are you on this fine day?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Hmm.
I got the afternoon off of work because I had to work today.
Hmm. Well, that's cool. Always a pleasure to see you around.
Yeah, it's always nice to be here.
Okay, can you guys hear me right now? Because I think my mic keeps turning itself off.
Yeah, we can hear you quite loud and clear.
Okay, because I didn't think you could a minute ago.
No problem. Grr. Throat. Anyway, Lordy mercy. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so
Poor Dewey.
dude, that's a new one on me. So
I've called you Dewey before.
I think do more than do-we. I don't maybe do.
And I tried to call you Sasa one day, and then you thought I said Sesa, and that got weird. But anyway.
Ah, yeah. I'm gonna turn off that for now because I just got a better way of putting up the video anyway. But yeah, as I promised before, I'm gonna show you guys a couple of kind of nifty little things in a bit. But first, as I promised,
I made him remember.
yes, and so it also made me remember something else. Some guy I am going to now say that we're going to remember way back when we did that ponies in the apocalypse thing with the talking about creating a zombie team, like a team of ponies to survive the zombie apocalypse with. Like
I remember that. I was here.
yeah,
I remember it.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But the point is,
Which is weird because I don't remember anything.
well, apparently some people really enjoyed that and asked to do a role playing forum thing, like find a role playing forum thread Mabobber and like turn that into an actual game.
Like a tabletop?
Well, like a forum role playing game thing. So not quite as detailed as an actual proper tabletop role playing game, but
Darn, I've always wanted to learn to tabletop.
oh well, I can do that at some point. Like I actually totally at some point we could actually just do a series of role-playing game sessions on the show at some point, because, I mean, that's actually really easy to do, and it's a really
We
fun
should.
thing.
I'll probably be terrible at it, but I've always wanted to learn. I can't call myself a geek if I don't.
Pad, would you be interested in that at some point?
I would. It's just I don't want to get too invested for something I can't always guarantee I'll be able to do, because the last thing you want is to have like characters and then like not show up and then be like, yeah, I'm back, and you guys have like leveled up and I'm still like,
oh no, that's fine. Don't worry about that. I can figure ways around that. No worries. But yeah, okay, we'll definitely do that at some point. But anyway, point is, I'm going to find a forum and set up a little role-playing thing, and we'll post a video on the channel just kind of saying like, hey, here's this zombies, ponies, apocalypse thing. That'll be different than when we set up a role-playing game here in the Skype call for the show. But
Cool.
that will also happen, because that is a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yay!
Anyway, so there's a request, kind of an older request, that Noony made 2 weeks ago, and that we're finally going to catch up on. And that is that there is a thing, thingamajooja, what's it? Ah, mein throat. So, I don't know how many. Okay, obviously I know that you, non-Avalis, have like the largest selection of pony memorabilia.
Pony collectibles? Yeah.
Yeah, that
Noony's ultimate pony collector.
to a frightening extent. You have
Yeah, a little bit.
just so many ponies. They're like ponies everywhere.
I keep getting more too. I bought new school supplies for my collection just a couple of weeks ago. But
So you're just buying like you're going to like back to school shops and just being like, I want all of the ponies.
yeah, pretty much. I went to the Michael's Craft Store, which I don't know if you have that in America, but hey, it's a craft store, and they sell going back to school supplies and scrapbooking supplies and things. And I bought all the new pony things that I didn't have yet, and I am a terrible person who hoards ponies.
I'm not sure if that makes you a terrible person. Maybe a little obsessive, but that's fine. Nah, it's cool. What about you, Pad? Do you have anything in the way of pony memorabilia?
oh, let's see. I've got a handful of shirts. I want to say maybe close to 24 of the blind bags.
Oh man.
Not bad.
Let's see. I got a Pinkie Pie plushie from Build-A-Bear.
The Build-A-Bear plushies are the best.
They're pretty adorable.
They're so squishy.
There was I got an Octavia plushie from the fiance for Easter, with like the spaghetti like fabric strandy hair.
Yeah,
And
I know those ones. They're the sunrise ones, aren't they, or Aurora or something like that?
I'm not sure what they're branding.
I've got
Fancy.
one, but it's across the room, so I can't check.
And I also have a Fluttershy brushable.
Cute.
And then the fiance has like just as many blind bags, a couple more brushables, and yeah. We're like a house of bronies.
This is an
And then
appropriate way to choose your fiance. Instead of a dowry of goats or whatever, based on their amount of blind bags.
I like how
And then
Noony
just-
is like, yeah, most normal marriages begin with an exchange of goats. That's still how marriage works these days, right?
Shh! I'm asexual.
Well-
I know.
Well, I had to supply like a plethora of lobsters, but
Oh, right.
That's appropriate. That is a traditional Maine thing as well. You have to just go to your fiance's house and bring a huge crate of lobsters and spill them over the kitchen
That,
floor.
or you must toil searching for a rare blue lobster to present to your fiance's parents as a token of your affection.
That too.
and I tried to do the blue lobster, but it was remarkably easier to find a bunch of fresh live lobsters in Alberta than trying to find a blue lobster.
You would think they'd all be blue where it's cold.
You would imagine. and yet you would be wrong. Sadly. By the way, people in the chat, feel free to throw in with your own weird, obsessive collections of memorabilia based around a children's cartoon. We love to hear
or anything else
your
you like to
stories.
hoard.
Yeah.
I think I still have all my original Pokemon cards.
Oh, I do too.
Oh man, Pokemon cards were great. I mean, they were sort of great. They had
Somewhere I've got a bunch of Pokemon cards and one of the TCG boards, which are actually just sheets of paper that they package in a fancy box and charge you too much money for. But nobody plays Pokemon cards anymore. It's all Yu-Gi-Oh! This and that.
well,
Yeah,
these
I got
Yu-Gi-Oh!
those as
And
well.
the Magics and the kids these days with their Pona cards and I don't know. Oh, did you hear? Apparently they actually had. Oh, the only thing I have is bad internet at the moment. Says Albion 9000. That's. But Tish. Yeah, you guys actually hear about that? They actually the official MLP CCG is now, in addition to stills from the show, actually commissioned a couple of cards from fan artist Pixel Kitties.
Really?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they.
I have some of the cards, but admittedly I've never opened them because I'm that kind of collector, so...
Right. Apparently, Skype works just fine for Albion, though. That, of course, Skype would work. Skype is like the worst program in the world because it just eats up unbelievable amounts of bandwidth.
I hate Skype, and then they bought out MSNs that you don't have an alternative, and you just want to stab them because they didn't move over any of the good features.
Yeah, but here's the weird thing: it's a terrible bandwidth eating program. And yet, for some reason, even when you have incredibly terrible internet, it's generally really stable. It's stable to a fairly silly degree. When everything else starts falling apart, Skype will still work to an extent. I don't know.
It sucks either way.
It's a weird program.
It's a socialist program. You pay for it when it works fine, but then it works properly when you can't afford to keep up. So you overpay the resources so that when you don't have the resources, you can still use it.
I'm confused
Fair
now.
enough, that works. Why are there so many spiders over there? That is unpleasant. Anyway, so Non-Avalis, you were what you were asking about before, and the reason I was on the subject of
Collectibles.
Bonafide memorabilia is that there was you asked me about the thing I got way back at last year's BronyCon that actually got me into liking Colgate, because it was, as I said, it was actually a thing that I bought at BronyCon that actually did that, and it's a pretty cool thing. I'm going to show the people at home. All these things are made by Minty Madi, MITTYMANDI. Show it so you can see it. To an extent, it's going to be kind of blurry, but whatever. So these are cards that this woman made and turned into badges, which she both sold and gave out to the staffers at BronyCon 2013. And they're these kind of cool little card things. If you're watching on the stream or in the YouTube, you can kind of see them holding them up right now. For those of you in the Skype call, you can either turn on the stream.
I'm watching it on the rhymes so I can see them. That's very punch.
Yeah, so they have these things, and each card has a slightly different style of the art for the character and for the name. So, Big Macintosh here, different style of font, kind of different look. Bonbon, same thing. Changeling, same thing. So each of the characters kind of has their own little thing. They kind of have this. It's really cool. And the art, some of the cards are really kind of goofy. Some of them are really cute. Each one has a different font and a different character. So what was happening was the woman who was making these was originally selling them for I think it was $5 per card for the first 2 days of the convention, and then on the third day she had so many left over that she was trying to get rid of them by setting up deals. And the deal she made was that you could buy a pack of 3, like blind, for the price of one. So you didn't necessarily get the cards you want, but you got random things, and you got a bunch of them. And then, like, you can encourage people to trade duplicates for duplicates until you got a pretty decent chance of getting what you want. So that was kind of cool. I was like, and the woman who was selling them was, this Minty Mandy person was very nice, wonderful lady. Got to talking to her for a while. And I, decided I'd buy a bunch of cards from her because they're cool and she was cool. And I got pretty much just about like all these different really crazy random cards that I just showed off. And I really like all of them and stuff. And I was just about to leave when I saw one card that I didn't actually get that was sort of like, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and I sort of want to get that. But I don't really have a real drive to, like, it's not like a huge thing. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll get it in one of these packs. And I didn't, and I was about to leave, and I was like, I do have like $5 left over. I'm not going to spend it on anything else. And that card's kind of cool. I mean, I don't really care about the character art or anything. It's actually mostly just that the writing, like the font, was really cool. And the character's actually kind of interesting looking. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll give you $5 for this. And so I picked up this little Colgate card. And I literally only did it in large part because of this cool Coca-Cola calligraphy font. And I ended up putting it on the wall. I was like, that's such a cool font. I really like that font. And the longer I had it up there, I was like,
I love that you're like the only other person I know who's obsessed with fonts.
My friend, a friend of mine who went to MIT at college, I went to a different college with him after he got out of MIT. It was kind of a weird thing. Like he had like 1 or 2 credits that he wanted to get from a different college for some reason. But anyway, he was obsessed with fonts as well. Really great guy who ended up working at Apple. But yeah, he kind of got me into fonts because he just go on for hours about fonts.
I'm hugely obsessed with fonts because I used to want to be a graphic designer, and people think I'm so weird when I'm like looking at a book and stuff, and it's like, I want to buy this book. It's like, why do you want to buy that book? Because the layout of this font is so great. Or I'm watching a movie and I'm like, good movie, ruined by papyrus font at the beginning and the end when they give you the names of the actors and stuff.
Welcome back, some guy. But yeah, no, that totally can happen. Like, God, some fonts. But I love this font. And the longer I looked at it, the more I was like, man, the character on this font, like the character on this card, looks kind of stupid, but in an adorable way. Like, look at that expression. Look at that goofy expression.
Put it closer to the thing.
I'll put it super up close. Just look at that, like that huge grin and the eyes. It's like that is the look of someone who has at some point had something really good happen.
That's so cute.
But it's not entirely sure the ramifications of that thing. Just that they're pretty sure it's great. And I was like, man, you know what? I kind of want to make a story. I want to do something with this character. To heck with it. I didn't know anything about like the fandom around her at all, except that she was the one pony who had the hair that kind of looked like toothpaste, and that she was Colgate because toothpaste. And that led to me wanting to do something with her in the Professor Lyra comic, and when that didn't end up happening, Pony dead. Like
which is amazing.
Yeah, that was the entire inspiration. And actually, ironically, the Barry Punch card that I kind of got randomly out of it, I also just sort of liked this one, and that's part of why I decided I'd end up using Barry in Colgate vs. Army of Darkness as a minor character. It's just like, I like these cards. These cards are really super cool.
I like them too.
Yeah. So anyway, have you heard of Twilight Sparkle Secret? Yes, I have. That is really weird. So yes, on the subject of cards. What's it?
I'm lost. Okay. I have no idea what this thing is.
Pad, you might have heard of this. Have you heard about Twilight Sparkle's Secret Ship Fic folder?
I have not. Should I be afraid?
A little bit. Basically, it's on the subject of cards. Actually, a fan in like a community person who works on like fan games, but not like digital fan games, but like print-outable card and board game stuff. Decided to make a joke card game called Twilight Sparkle Secret Ship Fic Folder, and the whole thing is just a parody of shipping. So the point of the game is you have a whole bunch of character cards, a bunch of situation cards, and gold cards that are like what you're trying to do. And the game is about trying to create these incredibly contrived shipping situations to create your perfect ship. So you'll get something like so it'll be like 3 different versions of Fluttershy, and there'll be like one of the gold cards is to get a ship where it's 3 Fluttershys together, and you have to like, work around until you can try and get like Druid Fluttershy, angry discorded Fluttershy and regular Fluttershy together, and it's like, there, I've now created the the triple Fluttershy ship, where Fluttershy and her 2 clones get together, whereas like, just like all these really weird random stuff, and there's like event cards that allow you to.
That is a pretty interesting concept.
It's very silly and it's very tongue in cheek. But yeah, it's a comedy card game that a fan made that is quite amusing. I'd play it if I actually had people to play it with in my area. Because it looks kind of funny. It looks like the type of thing you could probably play once or twice with friends and have a really good time with it.
Is it something you can do over Skype? Maybe we could all try it sometime.
Maybe. I mean, if you could figure out some way, because the thing is, because it's a fan-made card game, there's no, there aren't exactly like a lot of tools in place to, like print out the cards onto like one of those digital card game things. But I'm sure you could figure something out.
I'll have to look at it later. Maybe there's a way to make a card game interface out of RenP.
Probably. I mean, there is like a dedicated program designed to so you can like put in real world cards and turn them into digital cards for playing little games with your friends and stuff. But I don't know whether or not that program works with something like this. But yeah. Who knows?
I don't, so...
Who wants to know is the real question.
Well...
Pad, so, what about you? You interested in some hardcore shipping?
Not overly. I'm not a very big shipper, but in the sake of an entertaining card game, I'm kind of game.
All right, so here, actually, you know what? This leads me to something I wasn't planning, but since we've just gotten onto this subject anyway, what do you think is the worst, stupidest ship you've ever heard of in Pony? Like the most ludicrous one that you've actually seen someone legitimately try to pull off.
I don't really have anything to say this because I don't actively look for ships, but the one that has annoyed me has been the Discord Celestia one.
See, there you go. See,
I don't understand that either necessarily. And Discord and Pinky, much as they would be similar to each other, squicks me out. It's just weird.
See, they're too similar. It wouldn't work. You need some kind of abrasion.
Yeah. And I think like the only one that I've seen that's like there's actually kind of a funny one that I saw that was like a picture that someone did where it was just like a bunch of screenshots from the show, and it was just like showing all the interactions Fluttershy has with Discord that like shows their ever deepening friendship, and then at the very end it shows the picture of Discord giving flowers to Celestians, going like, "Oh my God, look, he gave her flowers! OTP, OTP." This makes the most sense as a ship.
I'm kind of okay with like Fluttercord or whatever you call that.
I'd just call it Fluttershy and Discord, because trying to combine 2 characters' names to create a cutesy ship name is silly.
I find your silliness silly.
I mean, like, to be fair, everything is silly. Like, all of this is insanely silly. But okay, so we got some other ones here. White Oak is saying Lyra Bon is the one that you think is the most weird and contrived, White Oak? The 2 random background characters who were always seen together is the most contrived and silly ship you've heard of in the fandom? I mean, to each their own, but I think I could think of weirder ones.
Yeah, that's fairly believable.
Yeah, some guy saying, I think it was Octavian Celestia, That was the weirdest.
I can think of one of the weirdest ships. Granny Smith x any other character.
What about what about like that one old guy? What about like the old guy at the funeral home?
Yeah, except the guy with the bubble pipe or whatever, any of the old characters like that, but pretty much any of the regularly occurring characters and Granny Smith would be so weird.
Oh man. Oh,
I've probably given some people a terrible idea just now, but
I'm actually now imagining like the ship of young Granny Smith and Celestia. I've never even seen this, but like I'm sure that exists. It's like Granny Smith was like in love with Celestia when they were younger. And it's like,
oh gosh,
I've been holding this torch for the last 100 years or however long Granny
that kind of works though if it was when she was younger.
Yeah, it is less weird.
But I'm thinking about something like one of the main six x the current Granny Smith would be so weird.
Okay, so yeah, I've seen chicken. I don't even know what this. Granny Smith x Discord. What? That doesn't exist. There's no way Granny Smith x Discord exists as a ship.
Well, they say they see a fic with it.
Oh.
That's weird, but okay.
That's weird.
I'm gonna stick with Apple Dash, thanks.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that one's a little bit weird. Well, not weird, but a little contrived. The whole like, oh, they're best friends. They must be in love.
No, I agree with you entirely. I'm just saying, as far as ships go, that's the only one I've read a couple fictions of.
Oh yeah, I know.
I like Rainbow Dash. What can I say?
It's fair enough. Yeah, I know. Like that one, I don't know. I think like my biggest problem with that one was always just been the fact that it really started around like the whole like they're ultra competitive best friends, which just ties into something that always kind of rubs me the wrong way with a lot of like animes and stuff, where it's like, oh, how do you know two characters are in love? Because they're constantly fighting.
Oh no, I agree with you on that point for sure.
It's like because that's a sign of a stable relationship. People constantly fighting. It's like yeah. It's like I can see like vitriolic best buds, awesome. Vitriolic, romantic partners, little less romantic.
Over the course of the show, though, they spend a lot less time arguing than they do. It's the theme of a couple of episodes, but overall they are friends. But I don't take shipping seriously anyway, so.
Yeah, that's more just a general weirdness thing, and just like, the fact that so many people seem to believe that this is like a thing, that this is like what a good relationship should look like, constant bickering, is mildly troubling.
Yeah, no, that's not okay.
What about you, Pad? What do you think about endless bickering and its relationship?
I think it just puts a drain on it. Like I don't think that I've ever gone to bed angry, or there has been a day where I haven't laughed, and it just helps everything go by smoother.
See, that's a really healthy attitude. Some guy's saying that he always liked Vinyl Octavia. That's fair. That's fair.
I've always found it weird, but I haven't had anything to dislike. It's just it just seems like a very odd mix.
I agree with you, actually. I don't see why it's so popular. Just because they're both musicians doesn't mean they're going to have everything else in common.
I think.
Well, see, mine is the commuting build must be atrocious, because what was it? The first time we saw Octavia was the Grand Galloping Gal. And
I think it's supposed to be long distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the weird.
Because all the. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. Go for it. I was going to say is. Okay. All the animations have them together, so there has to be like long distance commuting, and that just takes a toll on you as a person. Just having to travel for hours on end every day.
I'm sure.
Yeah, there's a bit of an oddness there. White Oak is saying I always thought that Apple Dash existed because they shared the same voice actor. I don't think that's the case, because then like Fluttershy Pinkie Pie would be way bigger, or Luna Rarity, and I just don't see either of those as being.
It's Flutter Pie, Duhad.
Oh, man. Don't even try to Don't even try to combine all the voices how Saint Germain does.
Yeah, what about
And on that
Plushie
note,
Time?
Rarity X Granny Smith would be a thing because they're the same voice actress.
Oh, jeez.
And you have Derpy in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
So
true.
let's not be weird.
This is getting nuts. This is getting nuts. So, right, anyway, that being said, yeah, actually, one thing I found kind of weird was I looked at, like, a poll, like, one of those surveys that was done a couple of years ago, and, like, or it was a year ago, I think, but, there's, like, a poll, and it was, part of the poll was, shipping. Like, shipping was part of just this very large poll about, like, involvement in the community, this, that, and the other, like, what's your favorite pony, what's your favorite episode, what's your favorite ship, what do you do in the community, how do you get into the community, etc., 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 like, really big, thing. And, yeah, as I said, one of the things in there was shipping, and I ended up looking at the results of it, and I was actually really surprised, because it was, like, I think, the three biggest ships were, like, Lyra Bonbon, Octavia Vinyl Scratch, and then, like, Apple Dash, I think. And what struck me was weird there was, like, I was like, okay, I don't necessarily love the whole Apple Dash thing, but I get why people are upset, like, why so many people get into that. Whatever. And the Lyra Bonbon thing, like, okay, I sort of get that. It, makes sense, whatever, the whole always being together in the same place. But it's like, how exactly did two characters who have never once been in the same scene together, who have never been in the same episode together, who have no lines of dialogue, get lumped together not only as a ship, but as one of the most popular ships in the entire fan community?
I'm sure there was one particularly popular fanfiction or audio cast or whatever that started it.
Probably, but it's just like it's nuts. Like, of all the characters, like, of all the shipping thing, like, in almost every other fandom that, like, I know I don't really get into fandoms all that often, but, like, I have a friend who's really big into, like, a bunch of anime fandoms and a bunch of, like, drama fandoms and whatnot, and apparently, like, shipping is a pretty big thing, but generally it's always main character X and main character Y. It's the two guys who have a serious bromance will be shipped as, like, the kawaii gay couple, or, like, the will they won't they couple get shipped together, or the brooding anti-hero and the main leading lady are shipped together, even though the main leading lady in canon gets together with the generic nice guy best friend. And,
yeah,
like,
I know
like,
how
no,
this all goes.
The dark, yeah. So the point is, like, there's all these different things, but it's always with the central characters, and yet, just in the top three alone, background characters, main characters. Like, there's a 2-to-1 on no dialogue, on characters who have no dialogue in the show, who have no actual canon characterization, who are more popular ships than, like, every other character in like, Bonbon has, like, 3 lines all by different voice actresses. So technically that. But yeah, it's like, how does this happen? Like, I mean, like,
that's the power of bronies.
I think that's because of the lack of dialogue and the lack of characterization. It kind of makes them as a blank slate, which is kind of ideal for the creative mind to be able to come with character as you said.
Oh yeah, no, sure. I mean, there's that definitely, but it's just like, other fandoms have background characters, side characters, etc., etc. But, like, how is it that NLP has, like, such a huge love for the like, barely even named, like, you have to go digging through like,
well, to be fair, in the fandom, they are no longer blank slates. People have created personalities for them that the fandom accepts. Like, the entire fandom accepts these personas that we've put onto them. So I assume it started when 1 or 2 people got onto the pairing, created these personas, and then everybody else liked it, and it kind of blew up.
Probably, but it's still kind of interesting to think about, like, how much personality and how much like, attention, how much love these unnamed characters get in this one fandom that does not really happen with other fandoms. Like, other fandoms will pick up on on minor characters and run with them and be like, man, this minor character was great. But total blank slate, canonically not important side characters, like, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty
I think it's because the
normal.
brony phenomenon too is centered even more so on brony culture than actually on the show. And these are characters we have invented, not the show. The bronies have given them their characters and stuff. So I think that's why they're so popular. They're almost mascots for the fandom.
I dig it. Some guy's also saying that he hates it when people ship Cadence and Shining Armor.
Isn't that canon though?
No, I think it's like with other people is what he meant. Maybe actually, do you hate it when people ship Cadence and Shining Armor, or do you hate when they ship them with other people? Because one of those is pretty reasonable, the other one is a little bit strange. It's like, God, I hate it when the married people are portrayed as being together. When will people get their headcanon out of my fanfiction? God.
No, he hates it when they're shipped with other people. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. It's a little bit odd when it's like, hey, yeah, these characters whose main defining trait is that they are married and who twice managed to pull off, like, fantastic feats on the strength of their love are like, yeah, no, but they really love X or Y.
I have to say, I would like to see a fanfiction where it shows a couple years later that Shining and Cadence were so optimistic about their relationship just being based on the pure power of love or whatever that they rushed into it too quickly without knowing each other's interests, and they've kind of gotten bored and their interests start to wander and they have to get their marriage back. I think that would be interesting.
I think there are a few stories like that. Like, that is...
Because it is a relationship that seems to be based on, well, Cadence is so loving and affectionate, and, well, Shining is, like, princely, so... They're the perfect prince and princess couple, and that doesn't work in real life. That's absolute nonsense.
So you guys also saying, especially people ship Cadence and Chrysalis. That is a little bit weird.
I'm kind of okay with it.
So if you're going to do one of these fics where, the later on universe, I have to see someone like, so do you want corn dogs tonight? Like, I hate corn dogs. I've been telling you for the last 4 years I hate corn dogs. Why do you keep asking me about corn dogs?
Because that's the only thing that makes me happy.
And then I feel like there has to be some kind of dim-witted remark like, so that's a no.
It is funny how many times, how the things married couples will just assume about each other without ever really addressing it.
Cadence is some guy is saying that Cadence and Chrysalis is he's replacing his old one with that being the most contrived ship.
I mean, to be fair, they did almost accidentally get married.
No,
wait.
That's Shining Armor. Yeah.
That's Shining Armor
like,
and
Shining
Chrysalis.
Armor I can almost accept because it's like, okay, maybe it's kind of one of those things where it's like, wow, man, I think actually once I didn't read the fic, but I did read the description for a fic that was actually kind of funny sounding, which was like Shining Armor after a kind of dull and really rote courtship with Cadence suddenly rediscovers like his love for her in the days leading up to their marriage, and she just like takes on a whole new life and personality, and then finds out that it's because she just got replaced and ends up going like, oh my god, I do not love this person I'm actually married to.
That is actually brilliant.
I'm in love with the person who's impersonating her.
I commend whoever wrote that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't read the fic itself, but like that, I read that description. I was like, that's awesome. I love that.
I love that. I mean, they were high school sweethearts or something, weren't they? And high school sweethearts, they probably get bored of each other as they grow up, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe we should get married because everyone expects us to. And then, hey, Cadence, now you're awesome. Oh, wait. I want to find this fic now and read it.
Yeah. I do like the comic where like their relationship starting comic though. That was really cute.
I haven't read it. So.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's all based on 80s movies.
Oh gosh.
Complete with Shining Armor and his friends getting a band together and
no, oh my gosh.
Trying to like win over Cadence with a song. And Cadence has like a boyfriend, like Cadence's like pseudo boyfriend at the time is just like this giant musclehead jock, and Shining Armor's friends are huge nerds. It's really It's really silly. It's fun.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to read that, but
it's really worth reading. Yeah, and they parody an Oogie Boogie song, which is cute.
And if their relationship was in the 80s, that means they're about the same age as Cheerly. I've just realized.
Yeah, actually, Cheerly, like 80s Cheerly, is in the comic, as well as young Mare with her pink hair.
Oh my gosh, Mayor is in it! I'm reading it right now. I'm going to go find it like as soon as we're done, and I'm going to go read it.
Yeah, no, there's a pretty great bit where like the incredibly 80s Cheerly and an incredibly
Mare,
80s
I feel
Mare.
like she's not even a background character.
Yeah.
She's actually a legitimate character, and everybody ignores the fact that she exists. And I'm always like, "Oh, Mayor, I want more love for you." So I'm going to go read that now.
But haven't you heard Mare colors her mane gray?
Exactly.
I know.
So her natural hair color is pink.
That just makes her all the more amazing to me. I love pink.
Oh yeah, and Albion 9000 tomorrow is when we do the next reading. So no worries on that. Some guy. Oh yeah. So well, all right. The whole point of all of that was just to get around in a really belabored point over back to the. Oh yeah. Why Chrysalis, like why Shining Armor and Chrysalis actually can kind of work and be kind of clever or at least funny, whereas Cadence and Chrysalis is basically like all of their interactions are, hi, I'm going to grab you, shove you into a cave, disguise myself as you, try and marry your fiance, and then you blow me up with the power of love. Not really a great basis for a relationship.
But what if they're both into that?
Perhaps Chrysalis, in becoming Cadence, realized a lot about Cadence. I mean, she must have learned Cadence a lot about her to take on her body,
Well,
and ended up
not that
growing
much, she like tips off Twilight immediately with how not Cadence she acts.
That's a good point. I don't know. Then maybe it's a Phantom of the Opera-esque thing where she becomes fascinated with Cadence's purity and almost starts a creeper relationship with her.
Oh my goodness.
If Cadence is the instigator of the relationship, it doesn't work. But if Chrysalis is the instigator of the relationship, I can see a really twisted Phantom of the Opera-esque thing going on.
Oh my... Wow.
Cadence and Chrysalis and Shining Armor as Phantom of the Opera would really work for me.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, fine. You could argue that could make an interesting story, but it doesn't really make it a very healthy or good ship, because it's still like, God, that is creepy.
But it's a believable ship in that respect. I don't know. The task of writers is to make the unbelievable believable, so...
Pad, do you have 2 cents to throw into this one?
Not really.
Oh, come now. I'm sure you have some fascinating things to say on the subject of ponies and their love affairs.
Well, the only thing I have for this is it could work is if that's what Cadence and Chrysalis are into, that whole kind of I'm going to pretend to be you and you can hide away in the basement.
Okay, yeah, that wouldn't be creepy at all.
I'm not saying it would be natural, but if that's what they're into,
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, hey, if that's what they want to do, then that's what they want to do, and they are grown adults, kind of, and can do whatever they darn well please.
Who knows? That entire arc could have been completely consensual, and it's like, yeah, you're going to pretend to be me, and then I'm going to come back just in time for the wedding.
What if Chrysalis was trying to save Cadence from a bad marriage the entire time?
Wait, what if, other idea, the whole thing was a wacky series of coincidences involving a plan to help Cadence realize how much she loves Shining Armor, set up by her friends, Lyra, Amethyst, and Colgate, who are the bridesmaids, by setting up this huge elaborate thing to try and get her and Shining back together through hardship, with Chrysalis as basically Chrysalis and the Changelings essentially being paid actors, playing out the part in order to help sell the danger and make them forced to work together and rediscover.
But they were already getting married, though.
Yes, but they didn't love each other, and this is rekindling their relationship with crazy shenanigans.
Then she has some really bad friends.
Well, she
I'd have
has
to say
terrible friends.
Worst bachelorette party ever.
You see what her bridesmaids were doing? Like, it's like, come on. I'm sorry, but bachelorette party should never devolve into zombified, bridesmaids attempting to attack the, bride and her former childcare person.
Man, now you've got it in my head that I want to write Chrysalis as, like, Cadence's ex-best friend who's become a stalker of Cadence and wants to keep Cadence all to herself, so tries to, like, crush Cadence's wedding and wants to become Cadence so much she turns into Cadence to try and steal her husband and then her position in Equestria, and then just... It could be deep.
Could be super deep. White Oak, yes, we did. We also read the micro comics, and they were indeed sad. It's Good King Sombra was awesome, and I was really sad to see him go. Spoilers.
I haven't read it yet, so...
It's good. It's very fun. There's also a kind of cool bit right at the end where they actually show the mirror alternate universe versions of a bunch of minor characters. So we have like Gentleman Big Macintosh with a dapper top hat and a little mustache, and Octavia as a punk rocker, and Vinyl Scratch as a classical musician.
That's just weird.
Yeah, just like all these wacky things. We also see like the main villains of the story are Celestia and Luna as like villainous alicorns fighting against the good King Sombra and his allies, Discord and Chrysalis, and basically all the heroes and villains are just swapped on the alignment chart.
That's great. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. We also get a whole bunch of stuff with Star Swirl the Bearded, who is wonderful. Just like this goofy old man. I really like. He's like a mix between Gandalf and like the goofier parts of Dumbledore. I saw what so that was playing where I said White Oak. Sorry, can you say that again? Some guy, what do you want me to say again? I don't know. You have to tell me. I want to know. Won't you tell me? Come on, baby, and take me to the river. Throw me in the water.
What?
That's the fish, the fishy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Come on, Patsy, you know the fish, right?
I know a fish. I don't know if I know the fish.
Yeah, it's the fish. He's the singing fish. He sings a little song like he's the big mouth bass.
Oh, that fish.
Oh yeah. It's like you hit the button. He's like, take me to the river, throw me in the water, something like that.
Oh no, the one I knew of was the Bob Marley fish.
Oh yeah, I think it's the same idea, but
yeah.
I'm loving watching toy Duhad plush bop along with you.
Yeah, he's bopping. He's bopping. When I got the cards, I was like, you know what? I'm pulling down this crazy birthday gift that my friend sent me to go along with it because he does not get out enough. Giant, goofy Duhad pony plush.
He's kawaii.
He's pretty adorable. I like him.
I need to make one of Lolly-chan.
You do. They are wonderful to hug. Anyway, some guy's saying, sorry, my dad stole my son.
Now he's like, is that
tutor.
A Duhad plush? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's my friend Tenma Ranger on YouTube, who has been on a number of Let's Plays I've done, as well as one of the episodes of Let's Read Living the Dream. Sent me this. It was made by Nightingale Needles over on Tumblr. She is a fantastic artist and really nice lady. I met her at BronyCon. What a delightful person. But yeah, little plush Duhad.
It's adorable.
Yeah, he's got a little beard. That is without a doubt my favorite part of any of this. Just
I've never seen anyone make one a pony plush with a beard on it before. That one just now.
I know I'm very, very happy about that. Like the beard really is just what sells it.
I would totally give that so many hugs and kisses.
I know. Did you see the Beat It PMV? I didn't. Did either of you?
I have no idea what that is.
It was
it's Michael Jackson's
Michelle
Beat It.
Creeper and I'm trying to remember his last name, but Black Griffin did a cover of Eat It. And somebody went and took that and then made a MLP-style PMV.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, I didn't see it. I heard it was alright. Well, I saw the original video, the live-action video of the two of them actually singing it, which was sort of cute, but I didn't see the animated one, because I kind of took one look at the art style being used. I was sort of like, not sure about that art.
Yeah, I don't normally watch the PMVs for the art. It's more for the the other things in like the voice acting and the the recording. And
Yeah, well,
especially if it's like a song.
Sorry, as I said, I watched the original live action version of them singing it when it came out originally, like a year ago. So it was sort of like, oh, you've now made an animated version. Like, if it was a super good art version of an animated version of that song, I'd be like, okay, I'll watch that. But it was like, do I want to rewatch this just with kind of odd-looking bipedal pony rigs? And the answer was not really. Animated James doesn't have the best art. No, I guess if that's the artist, then no. Sorry, Animated James. No offense to you, but just not as big a fan. But he does some good videos. Okay, well, yeah, that's cool. It has Brony OCs in the video. That's generally not a good sign for me. Like, generally speaking, trying to sell it on like, oh, but we have a bunch of people's OCs in this video. It's like, okay, you have terribly designed characters made by people who are not artists. Sign me up.
Oh, it's so true. Why do people have such a hard time making OCs that actually look like they could belong in the show?
Yeah, it's...
Then again, Hasbro did a terrible, terrible thing by introducing Maude into the show. I'm sorry, I just saw that episode last night.
No.
And she's like every bad OC. Her colors look so wrong. She looked like she was edited into the show, like screenshots. I was like, oh god.
Man, you are going so far against the grain with that one. Like, I was actually just talking to someone who got a choice of any character from the show or any OC they wanted, and he was like, Maude. I want Maud Pie.
No, I like her, but her design didn't match the show at all, is what I'm saying.
Fair enough. I think she worked as just, like, visually worked in that she was a direct contrast to Pinky. Like, I think on her own she probably wouldn't have worked nearly as well, but I think as a side-by-side comparison to Pinky, it actually worked really well to highlight the difference, like, including the fact that her coloration and general aesthetic is not similar to the shows at all, the regular onesies that the show at all. So
I don't know, it almost seemed like too obvious of a choice to make her that clashy, and it really did to me look like she was edited onto those scenes, because artistically it doesn't make any sense.
They're talking about Wildfire. What? No, we're not talking about Wildfire. Wildfire is the OC of Sipsy. Maud Pie is a totally different character than Sibsy.
No,
yeah.
Maud, Pinky's sister.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm super confused. I'm not sure why you're saying that we're talking about Wildfire when we're talking about Maud Pie. Maud Pie is a distinct character who was in the show, and we do know the difference between her and Wildfire.
I think I am now confused.
I as well am that. Also, Wildfire was in the show. She was a background character in Candlelight Wedding Part 1.
Chrysalis fixes her relationship with someone.
No, it's Cadence, because it's like...
Sorry, not... Yes, Cadence.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're both C's. It gets confusing for me.
Yeah, I know.
It could have been. It could have been Chrysalis. It could have been Chrysalis posing as Cadence. Being like, I can do this. I can fit in.
Oh, funny thing. Yeah,
They'll never suspect it.
Oh, jeez. Funny thing I actually found out about Chrysalis a little while ago was that, and I totally missed this, but you know how, like, everyone knows it's Chrysalis. It's Queen Chrysalis. You know, she's labeled as such. She's in the comics, in the arc that is literally called The Return of Queen Chrysalis. Like, everyone knows Queen Chrysalis is Queen Chrysalis.
Yes.
Turns out she wasn't actually named in the show. Like, if you watch that episode, she is never once named. That was actually just a name announced on, like, the hub, like, Twitter or something. Just like, by the way, that character was Queen Chrysalis.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, because apparently there was, like, a day before she was officially named where people were like, so what is Queen Bug Pony's name? And then, like, Hasbro's like, no. Before you come up with your own name, before you decide to name her something, like, before people end up trying to name her something like Colgate, where you don't actually have the ability to legally publish the fan preferred name, it's Chrysalis, all right? Her name is Chrysalis.
See, I kind of like it when a canon name doesn't correspond with a fanon name, because then the fanon name, you can use it and not have to worry about any ramifications.
That's true. Yeah, there's actually a whole weird thing with the blind bags, when the blind bags started coming out, and, like, Hasbro just named, like, a ton of characters things that were for background characters who had already been given popular fanon names, and there was, like, a whole huge thing where people are like, okay, so what do we call Lyra? Is she Lyra or is she Heartstrings? Is Bonbon or Sweet Drops? Is Berry Punch, or I think there's some other weird name that they gave her that was like berry juice or something weird.
Jeez, even I can't remember the alternate name for Berry Punch.
Yeah, some of the alt names survived, and like Carrot Top was Golden Harvest. Like they tried to rename.
Yeah, I remember that.
I actually don't remember.
Oh, Berry Shine! It's Berry
Shine. Yeah, that's like such a
which
weird
I actually
one.
think is so much cuter. Just FYI.
Berry Shine. I don't know. Like, there's nothing really that makes sense with the shine part of it.
Yeah, but it's adorable.
I guess so. Anyway, the weird thing is, like, for the most part, they actually ended up switching over to using the fanon names, like on like the official cards and in the comics and stuff. Lyra is Lyra rather than Heartstrings. Bonbon is Bonbon rather than Sweet Drops. I think like the only ones that they didn't do that for were like for the most part were ones like Time Turner, where obviously they couldn't legally name him Dr. Hooves. And Colgate. The funny thing with Colgate was originally they changed her name to like
it's Minuet.
It's Minuet now, but actually it was originally changed to something else that was like weird. It was like I actually don't even remember, but there was like another name for Colgate that was.
Oh jeez, there was, and I don't.
Yeah. It was like Minty Fresh or something like that. It was like saying
it's.
I
thought it was something to do with her timekeeper symbol.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, they ended up changing it to Minuet from something else, which was weird because it was like they gave her a name that wasn't Colgate for obvious reasons, and then they changed it. Like when they kind of relented and changed a bunch of the other characters' names, they also changed Colgate's, but like they changed it to Minuet rather than obviously again still couldn't actually call her Colgate. They called him Dr. Hooves on the NLP IP drone game. Interesting. Okay, so they did call him Dr. Hooves there, but I think he's still technically called Time Turner in most of the.
I forget. Did
like
the Hot Topic vinyl collectibles call him Dr. Hooves too?
Yes, they did.
It did.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I think so.
Yeah, the collectible ones like universally use the fan names, and I think that's because they're technically like not actually Hasbro, sort of like they're like technically an off-brand Hasbro company. Like it's a a side company that is also owned by the same people as Hasbro, but like they use it to publish things that are not not family unfriendly, but like things that are not necessarily appropriate for the kids. Like they publish a lot of Transformers toys through like this off brand this other company.
Transformers is under a different name. It was under Tiger Electronics for a while, which I don't know if it still is. I think everything got absorbed under Hasbro's name. Yeah, I mean, but as far as I'm actually aware, the Brony line of toys is still just under Hasbro. I don't think there is a separate name for it, even the ones that are licensed.
The thing is, like, they're all under Hasbro. Like, Hasbro owns all of it. But, like, the actual company that makes the toys is technically, like, something, like, it's something else that is a,
Hasbro gives the licensing to other companies, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, they have another company that they do, like, the vinyls.
Funko was making all the vinyls.
There you go. That's the one. And they use they aren't as worried about like the weird fanon things, so they use the fanon names for all their stuff. So you get Dr. Hooves rather than Time Turner.
White Oak says, "Is there a vinyl collectible of bulk biceps?"
No,
I'm fairly certain there is not.
I think it's actually weird. They don't have most of the main six either. They have like Pinky, Twilight, Octavia vinyl scratch. They don't actually have like a fully colored Octavia. They have like a weird all black Octavia. And then they have like Dr. Hooves and Derpy.
But even if you include all the, like, not just the ones that are technically released under their vinyl collectible line, if you include all the little plastic figures, like non-brushable things that have been released of all the toys, we do get quite a lot of characters.
Oh, yeah.
We've even gotten Chrysalis and Stephen Magnet under the name Stephen Magnet. Goodness knows why.
That is true.
But there is no bulk biceps yet.
Yeah, I think the thing with bulk is that he's only just become, like, with the season 4, he only just kind of became a character who was recognizable. So he'll probably
be in next year's line of little minifigures.
Exactly.
I thought he was pretty recognizable in season 3.
Oh no, he was recognizable, but like someone who most people who Hasbro assume would buy toys for, like toys of bulk biceps.
Wait, they named an assault rifle after Rainbow Dash White Oak?
What? No, she was turned into an assault rifle in the new Transformers movie, which is weird.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like there's a.
They always put My Little Pony references in Transformers, but.
Yeah, well, apparently there's a scene in the new Transformers movie where there's like they figure out some way of like essentially making. I think the idea is that they're making like human-made Transformers, and so to show off that they have the ability to turn one thing into another thing, they stick a stuffed Rainbow Dash toy into the machine, and it turns it into an assault rifle.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I like that they're continuing the trend of hiding My Little Pony plushies in the background of the Transformers movies.
Yeah, Hasbro is as Hasbro does. Hasbro likes to cross-brand, even in really weird ways.
Hey, I'm not upset about it. So.
I'm not at all.
It's fun. Anyway, but yeah, that's.
I should note, Duhad, darling, that we've gone till 6.
If
you
so
want
we
to stop
have.
halfway.
We'll probably go a bit longer. Probably go an hour and a half rather than a full 2 hours, but we'll make it a little longer than we've done recently. Try and slowly get back on track. Because Lordy knows we've been pretty far off track for a while now. Would you buy a Rainbow Dash assault rifle?
As long as you can.
If it's a toy assault rifle, a replica, I would in a heartbeat.
Well, would you buy a Rainbow Dash plush assault rifle? I mean, like,
okay,
let's be honest.
So are you talking? It's like. Okay, what are the parameters? Is it a plush assault rifle that is the color scheme
Considering he
of
says
Rainbow
if
Dash?
it was legal in your area, I think he means a real weapon. No, I would not.
I wouldn't buy it if it was a real gun, but if it was like a Rainbow Dash plush that turns into a plush, not a real, but a plush assault rifle, I would buy that because it would be like, who doesn't want to have a cuddly plush assault rifle?
If it was like a plastic or a composite or however you say replica of a weapon that one would use for cosplay and stuff, I would totally buy it because it would go great with a Mass Effect cosplay.
That too.
Which is something I'm planning for later in the year.
Oh yeah, so how are you enjoying Mass Effect? And PadSave as well, have you ever played the Mass Effect games?
I have not played the Mass Effect games. I missed out when they started, and then I wanted to try to get into the second and third ones, and by then it was just I've missed the first one, and there's other games I have to play, so I have to go back and play them. It's one of those things I feel like
now is a good time to play it because they've released them as trilogy packages, so you can buy all 3 at once and go through them all. That's what I've done.
Yeah, not cool though, dude. You need to play those games. Even if the third one has a terrible ending, they're still nice.
No spoilers! I'm at the very last mission and I haven't won it yet.
Oh, okay.
See, that was the other thing that kind of prevented me from picking up is just with the backlash of the third game. It's like,
Well, I'll tell you if it's good when I finish, Petty.
They did add an update because, like, I'm not gonna spoil anything about the endings, but just as you may have heard, the endings were not very well received, and in fact they were so badly received that they actually added a patch, which made the end.
I have purposefully refrained from patching the game so I can see the original ending and experience the original feelings of rage, and then I will patch it later.
Oh man, okay, fair enough. I mean, the patch isn't amazing. Like, it doesn't fix everything, but it basically is like, okay, hold on a second. People were like watching this, and because of how badly we kind of did the endings, they're assuming a whole bunch of things that we didn't intend. So let's backpedal here and go, no, it's not quite that bad. And they also, I think, took away a thing where in the original version, you know how you have like the war score?
Mm-hmm.
Well, war score affects the endings that you get, and if you don't have a high enough war score...
I know! I need to have 4,000 war score points, but I've gotten all the ones I possibly can, and I only have like 375.
Yeah,
no, 3,750.
You know why that is?
Why?
Because in the original unpatched version of the game, you needed to play the multiplayer in order to raise your war score to get the best ending.
I thought so, but I don't know anyone else who has a PS3 who plays it, so I can't do it.
Yeah, you'd have to play like random pub matches and stuff and just ew. But yeah, no, in the original version of the game...
So I'm probably going to get the bad ending, and Shepard and Liara might die, and I'll be sad.
No, you don't get the worst ending. The worst ending, like, there are like 5 different versions of, like, variants on how badly you fail the ending if you don't have enough war score. So it's like, if you get like no war score and then go in, it's just like everything fails. Like, it's just the worst possible thing.
The universe just, the Reapers get it and they kill us all, right?
Pretty much. I think, like, not technically, but it's like you succeed, but by succeeding you basically just wipe out everything. It's just everything is bad forever. It's like you win, but it's super Pyrrhic and like everyone's dead. And then, like, depending on how much war score you get, the amount of terrible things that happen is reduced to the point where if you have like a perfect war score, like if you cross over like the guaranteed amount, then
if you get more than 4,000,
then depending on your choices, you know, by the end of the game, you can limit the casualties to only the ones that you actually want to have happen. Rather than like, you do this and these people suffer and also everyone else is suffering because you didn't have enough war score.
Yeah, with the patch, they changed the required war score to 3,300, which is just under the maximum you can get in the game. So
yeah. I think you can also like get like DLC or something that'll get you extra war score by playing through the DLC.
Potentially. The DLC is so expensive though, even though the cost of the games have gone down. The DLC costs haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly, honestly. Like,
I bought From Ashes or whatever, but the rest of them are like $15 a piece, and I'm like, I really want the Citadel DLC, but that's $15 freaking dollars.
Some guy actually did mention it while you were gone, but I'll say again, we are going to set up an RPG forum thing for zombies and stuff, and we're going to actually probably do a actual live action, not live action, but an actual tabletop role-playing game here on To the End at some point coming soonish. More details about the forum thing on a separate video that will probably go up Saturday or Sunday. Anyway, but yeah, no, Mass Effect 3. Oh, man. Oh, actually, hold on. We did have another question, though. Least favorite main 6 pony. I think we probably answered this before.
And then say something positive about them. Was the request.
Okay, that's good. I like that. I like that one.
It's not main 6 ponies, though. It's just ponies, period.
Say something nice about your least favorite pony, period. Okay, well, you all know what my answer is going to be. So let's start from Pad Save. Who is your least favorite character?
It's not... Okay, White Oak, wait a minute. Duhad and I are here, yes, Duhad and Noony, but that's not Cabral.
Yeah, that's Pad Save.
That's Pad Save.
It's bad.
Yeah, which I seriously need to change the title card or something because it's really confusing. But
I'll draw a new one as soon as I can.
Okay, but yes, Pad Save. Least favorite member of the main 6 and least favorite character in the show and at least one really nice thing about them.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, it's going to be the exact same answer I had yesterday with the same question, and it's my least favorite character is Diamond Tiara.
Okay. You hardly need to explain
why. And the nice thing I have to say about her is that at least her dad is down to earth.
Oh, come on. That's beating around the bush too much. You had to say something nice about her.
I really like her name.
Come on, something legitimately nice. I'm sure you can figure out something. And by the way, people in the chat, feel free to also throw your own.
Okay. The next thing I have to note her is she has a certain attitude that can aid her as she gets older.
She'll probably make it far because of her. She's got a good business attitude, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
That is the nice thing I have.
Okay. Fair enough. Some guy, Diamond Tiara, because you were bullied for 4 years. That's a pretty good reason to dislike her, but you do have to come up with something nice to say about her. Well, you can think of something, though. Noony.
I'm trying to think what my least favorite character is. I really don't care about these things all that much. I bother picking favorites, but I never bother picking least favorites. That would be silly.
Silly, but enjoyable. Go on. This doesn't even have to be someone you dislike. It just has to be someone who you just do not necessarily enjoy as much when they're on camera.
I'm thinking about it. I guess I didn't really like Gilda. I thought she was such a waste of an episode.
There you go. Gilda. So, one really nice thing about Gilda.
But, I mean, she was a griffin, which was really cool. And...
Get a little racy there, but alright. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like her because she's a griffin.
You can't say the girl's not self-confident. She seems very self-assured. Gutsy.
Fair enough.
Much bravado.
Wow, much bravado. Very gutsy. So Griffin.
Yeah.
Oh, lordy. Okay, so that's a thing then. Some guy, I don't think just saying that I'm sure she has a nice eye counts as saying one nice thing. You actually have to come up with a nice thing to say. Or else you're basically just kind of... Okay, you're still thinking. The only thing I like about Hickey is when she's not... White Oak, that also does not count. You cannot say, my favorite thing about X is that sometimes they're not annoying. That is something that does not make you hate them. That is different than something that you like about them. You people would do terrible in
Which is funny because White Oak's the one who gave us the question.
Yeah, White Oak, man, come on. You actually threw us this curveball. You can't back out on it.
You should know how to do it correctly.
Her singing after season 1, okay, that's a thing, I guess.
So I guess that means you're not a fan of Giggle at the Ghosties, and I should probably sing it now to know you.
Yeah, I guess
kidding,
we're going to have to throw you in the fire. No offense, but it's... I mean, that is what you do with White Oak.
I love after he got Padse's name wrong.
Yeah, true. You've offended the Canadian hive mind, and now they will use it to crush your head.
When I was a little filly and the sun was going down. Come on, girls!
Sorry, I had to.
Jeez. Noony, you with your songs.
I'm a singer by nature. It's what I do.
Yeah. All right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I mean, I'm not saying you're not.
There's someone
wrong,
hanging
but...
out in the background of your screen by the by.
Yep. I see him.
He's a random stalker.
Yes, he is at that. You all know, obviously, what I'm going to say, and again, I find her amusing. I don't think she's necessarily terrible, just that, I hate everyone who likes her.
Sorry, Trixie.
Yes, there's nothing wrong with her. She's amusing. She's...
Duhad, I'm going to go to Build-A-Bear, and I'm going to build you a Trixie.
Oh, please do. Please do. Because I can just put that somewhere where it'll be in all the shows. I'll confuse people because it'll be like, don't you hate her? I'm like, yes.
He likes to be stoned.
Put it right here.
Oh man! Now I have to go build one so I can bring it when I come see you.
Please do. Yeah, no, seriously, if you do that, I will have it in every single video.
You'll also have to add it to the title card.
Oh god! Trixie, we should all be wearing Trixie uniforms in the new title card that I draw. Yes.
Everyone but me should be the thing. I should just have the just staring in disapproval at all of you dressed up like that.
I'll have to make a separate version with Trixie heads drawn on everyone. That's totally gonna happen. That's gonna be a thing. BTW Pad Save, you're gonna have to send me a reference for your Pony Sauna, whatever.
Okay. I think I can do that.
How about just Duhad? How about no, some guy? How about you don't get talking privileges anymore? Yeah. There should be art. That would be pretty funny, White Oak. I will actually admit that would be extremely funny. Though I'd probably actually pick Dash to play Archer. But no, I adore Archer. Archer is just a great show, and you basically just say yeah, we should do something involving Archer. I'm like, yeah, we should, because it would be funny. Oh lordy, running low on steam. We're coming up near the end of the show.
Well, what the end will be for today, anyhow.
Yes, what the end will be for today. But so before we do that, though, Noony, anything new and interesting in your that you want to announce that before the next week?
Oh, hey, I do have something, and this is actually Duhad something, but I'm going to say it now.
Oh, good.
Duhad and I are going to do another attempt at a reading of Pony Dead, which is going to be amazing because I love Pony Dead, even though I don't like dead things.
I love it. It combines all the things I hate. Dead people.
It's kind of true, Duhad. It's kind of actually true. It combines all the things I don't like. Zombies and dead things and books made of human flesh and creep factors and these things I don't like, time travel and sci-fi elements. And yet I love it and I don't know why.
Fair enough. Yeah, so we're going to be going through Pony Dead and Colgate vs. Army of Darkness as audiobooks.
So those of you who can still tolerate my voice after having listened to it can now hear me read Pony Dead later on when we make the recordings.
Great. That's stupid. Patsy, what about you? Do you have anything interesting, new, exciting, or...
I know.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. How's the Pony Dead game
I was
coming
going to say,
along?
White Oak said, how is the Pony Dead game coming along? As far as I know, the Pony Dead game is dead. Duhad?
Yeah,
it's
pretty dead right now because, again, it required a bunch of voice actresses who were also required for the actual...
If I can grab Duhad later, I will talk to him about that.
Yeah,
because, honestly, I don't mind doing all the voice track myself and finishing up the game since it was just me other than the voice actresses anyway. So
Yeah.
if I then do all the voice acting, it's something I can complete entirely on my own, which is pretty easy.
Yeah, so who knows? What we'll probably do is try and figure out the audiobook thing first, and if that actually works, like if we can actually do that and it doesn't explode in our faces, then yeah, maybe we'll redo the game itself without the.
I'm
extra
always
voices.
up for coding, so
Yeah,
I need to learn to code. I don't feel like a proper nerd without coding.
it's all right.
I can help you do some visual novelty type stuff sometime, Pad, but I can't do like HTML or CSS or anything.
See, the only thing I know is a little bit of HTML.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I actually still know it. I used to code HTML, but I don't actively practice it because it's useless to me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know enough about coding to meaningfully say like yeah that makes sense or not, but I'm gonna say it makes sense anyway. That guy, yes, that is a plan eventually to do something in that vein. We'll see what happens. Again, there's a few too many things going on right this very second for me to say with confidence, yes, we're going to do this, yes, we're going to do this. But we're working our way through some of the, some of the problems that we had a while, and yes, and cutting through some of the backlog that's kind of built up. So who knows?
And for those of you watching this on YouTube later, where Duhad didn't read that question, he's talking about writing a purposefully bad self-insert fanfic.
Right. Sorry, that's what. Yes, thank you. And Albion 9000. No, the game we're talking about is not HTML. It would actually be a downloadable visual novel game.
It's coded in RenP engine, which uses Python.
Yeah, so it would be a Python game, which it means it'll be a little bit more complicated than an HTML game. Like if it was just an HTML game, then I could make that really easily. Because
I couldn't code a game in HTML, but I can code you visual novels, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, HTML is not really that bad, but it's not as interesting as Python. Like Python is would create a way more interesting and way better game. So Python. Plus, Noony can actually.
I'm just used to it.
Yeah, Noony knows that a lot better, which again is a huge step up from trying to do an HTML thing. Anyway,
we were gonna round back to did Pad have anything he wanted to say, because I interrupted him because I'm a terrible person. So, Pad, did you have anything you wanted to say, Lovey?
The only thing I have to say is everybody should get Broforce. Broforce is fun. It's awesome.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. They just patched it. They added in and Max Bro kill the guy from Lethal Weapon. And they added the lady from Planet Terror with the machine gun for a leg. It's the best. Oh man, what's this? That guy?
What is Broforce?
Broforce is the most American game ever made.
And why is it called Broforce? Am I not allowed to play it as a lady or what?
There are women in it too. It's just that it's basically a giant homage to 80s action films. Now, I'm just gonna turn it on. I'm not gonna play it right now, but it's like it is the most ludicrously over the top, silly throwback to movies like Predator, Commando, Rambo, like all these things.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much then. But like, this is what it looks like. This is.
Oh God, that looks wow. Okay.
It's like super American and.
Wow, I'm feeling injured as a Canadian.
I did at first too, but just the over the topness of it, it's funny and enjoyable. It almost kind of helps emphasize. I don't know. It's just kind of like.
Yeah, it's
that actiony stereotyping.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it right now. But I'm just gonna show you what these characters look like, because they are just these completely over the top things. Like here, so right, that's actually ironically this is a character based on Ash Williams from Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. But you can see like they're represented by these tiny little pixel people. It's Ash Williams from Army of Darkness.
Everything about it, like that.
I love pixels.
Yeah. And like with the 8-bit style, it's a throwback to like even the gaming of that time. But the controls, there's like so little of them actually have it mapped to like a USB Super Nintendo controller.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a really delightful little game. I highly recommend it. It's technically in alpha right now, but unlike many games that are in early access alpha, this one actually has these it's a really good game right out of the gate. And there are the updates come once a month, and the updates are actually really big and really impressive and have all sorts of crazy stuff. There's over 25 characters in the game right now. Each one plays incredibly differently. It's wonderful. If you like silly over the top testosterone films, then it is a must buy.
I think I'm gonna stick with Mass Effect.
Fair enough. It's also very difficult if you like challenge. If you like challenge, it's great. If you are completely turned off by the idea of a serious challenge, it could easily become frustrating.
That guy wants to know if anyone is familiar with Lufttrassers. Is that how you're supposed to say that? I have no idea what that is.
Is that the World War One adventure game thing? Is that the World War II Nazi plane shooting game?
It does sound somewhat German.
Yeah, I think that's the World War II arcadey plane shooting game where you're fighting the Nazis. Okay, yeah.
Nazi plane shooting game, he says.
I've not played that, but I've heard it's very good if you're into that sort of game. I just never really played those sort of games when I was a kid, so Broforce is a little bit more in my vein of nostalgia. So, it's
Kirby and Sonic the Hedgehog are my vein of nostalgia.
More than fair. Oh yeah, Devolver Digital. I think it is Devolver Digital who made both games. They're a great company. I really like them as a publishing group. Oh, just cough.
I think the only thing that would make Broforce better is if you could use the Konami code.
That would be pretty amazing. Even if you couldn't use that to get 1,000,000 lives, having something in the game that you input the Konami code and it actually does something would be great. Valiant Heart. That's the World War one, I think. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. I've heard.
I've heard it's an incredible game. Very, very heart wrenching. Very dark. It's the story of World War One, and it apparently does that story with it does a lot of justice to that incredibly bleak chapter of human history. I probably will actually want to play that at some point. When it goes on sale, I'll probably buy it and play it. But I'm not rushing out to get that right this very second. I'm challenged, but I also suck at video games, so that's a possible problem.
I love how you say rushing out to buy it, and now I'm thinking, geez, does anybody even go to the store to buy these games anymore? Because you all have Steam. Oh, well, it's so weird to me that I've just realized now our culture doesn't have that. Oh, I have to go to the store and buy that game.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's I don't even think you can get this game on Steam. It's technically, I mean, at the store, it's all on Steam. It's
I remember when I was little and a new game would come out and you had to go to the store and pre-order it and pick up the order when it came in the mail and stuff.
Yeah, God, it's been so long
since
that was a thing.
Culture's so weird.
Yeah, so oh lordy, it's been so long, so long. Anyway. You just noticed the treadmill? Yes, there's a treadmill there. So I guess the last thing I need to say is just Let's Read will happen this weekend, though it will not be living the dream as Cabral and Soundspeed are currently off in Texas, attending a convention together along with a number of other people from Muffin Lovin' and...
If you need another reader, I can help you.
We actually are pretty good this week. We are going to have on a special guest from another bad fanfic parody group called the Something Library. I'll have the name by the time.
The Living Library?
It might be. I
used to be with them. If that's the case, if it's Living Library players.
I don't think so, because it's it's a parody group. It's not a reading group. It's a bad.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, no, it's. They do they do sort of a written version of Let's Read, but one of their members is going to be joining us along with the artist Creative, who has been on this show before and was on one episode of Let's Read. So you should read it with Noony and the writer of Living Street. Oh, jeez. I think that would break poor Noony hearing that story. It's terrible.
Potentially, but I'll do anything if Duhad asks.
Oh, you are sweet. Well, I'm not gonna put you through that if I don't have to. Though, if we run out of people, I will definitely keep in mind that you probably would survive at least 1 or 2 chapters before we had to commit you to an asylum. What were we doing in Sibling
I'd
Dream?
be alright.
Oh god, the unexpected love life of Dustshine. Maybe one day. I think we actually have one prepped. It's following in our ongoing series of terrible spin-offs of My Little Dashie. We found another one. Another terrible one. In fact, the writer tried to delete it and was so incompetent that they managed to hide their story, thinking they deleted it, but still leaving it in a way that we could find it. So we're digging that thing out, and
Good job.
yeah. Which normally we respect a person trying to get rid of their terrible writing, but they were hugely nasty in their own comment section, just being super nasty to all the critics before they eventually deleted it. So karma. Anyway, this takes some really good writers, but it's completely incoherent storyline. Okay, I will look at this briefly, and then we'll wrap up, because we are at we're at the end of the show. Well, kind of the end for this week, not for in general. Oh wow, this. Yeah. Oh, geez. I think 31,000, almost 32,000 words is a bit long for a single reading, but,
You'd have to read it Canadian levels of fast.
Canadian speed. Patty, are you down for, Canadian speed?
I can do Canadian speed. I can even do Newfie speed.
Oh,
Duhad.
Right.
Oh, Pad, save your skills.
Oh, lordy. Okay, so there's...
I don't know if I can do
now-
Newfie speed.
So we're going to wrap it up, though. So,
might not come out coherent.
So, people, as always, it is a incredible pleasure to do the show with you guys. Noony, as always, Pad, please come back anytime and every time you can. We're going to put you on the title card because you are our favorite slightly inconsistent guest. And, some guy before I go... No, I refuse to believe that the Canadian hive mind does not exist. That is not something I'm going to give up on, ever. Have fun.
It totally exists. We're like the Geth. Canadian Geth.
I can think of no better thing
You can
to
read
end
my
on.
mind, can't you, Pad Save?
Pardon, I couldn't really hear that. It was cutting out. I wanted to say it was fine about reading minds.
Yeah. I said kids are the Geth, but you're not going to understand that reference because you didn't play Mass Effect. But then I said, you can read my mind, can't you, Pad Save? Like, we all have the same mind, like hive mind. See? Pad Save gets it.
Of course we do.
All right, well, thank
One
you
of these days we'll indoctrinate you, Duhad.
Noted.
But not right now.
Anyway, take care, Legion. I'll see you, I will see you all very soon. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is going to be Let's Play and Let's Read. So, if you want to be there for the live stream that we do the reading on, which I know people have been asking about, be there on Saturday. Saturday is the day we do the readings on. Friday is the day we do the show on. I'll make that very clear. Okay, see you guys next week.